the Bahamas Public Services Union, and ourselves, which tried to decentralize the decision-making in the government, to give more authority to ministries. And one of the decisions we took, for example, in October of last year, was to return the power of delegated authority to permanent secretaries. And that was like pulling teeth to get that done. But we eventually got it done. So that authority was taken back to ministries. And I can tell you, in meeting with the most senior managers in the public service, they fought it every step of the way. Every step of the way.
We on the platform, and our special guest this evening is Mr. Fred Mitchell, the Member of Parliament-elect for the Fox Hill constituency, returned in the May 2nd general elections. We take this break and we'll be back.
What's a sanctuary? It's a refuge, a place to escape the things that drain you, that cease to sustain you. What's a sanctuary? A place of peace and quiet. It's nurture for the body and soul, a move toward being whole. That's a sanctuary. Sanctuary Day Spa, a world away from ordinary. Church Street Plaza. Call 328-5674 to make your appointment with wholeness today.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over, a precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual or battery powered. New Gillette Fusion.
Hi, I'm Mr. BlackBerry. Do you know that your BlackBerry offers both voice and data features? You can send and receive emails, make and receive phone calls, and organize your day. Receiving email is instant on the BlackBerry with the push email system. On your BlackBerry, go to the messages icon and watch as you automatically receive your emails. You can do this and so much more with your BlackBerry. Contact the BTC Enterprise Sales Team at 302-7400.
We're back on the platform, and our special guest is Mr. Fred Mitchell this evening. Joining us this evening, too, is Godfrey Enis. Mr. Mitchell, during the campaign of the general elections, we heard many politicians talk about the lateness of your government in so many things, many issues. Just before the election, the contract for the straw market was signed. And then we can talk about many other things. This lateness, that perception that the government was late, or this perception of lethargy, obviously took a great hold in the community, didn't it?
Well, I'm not going to go in that direction. What I'm going to say is this.
Why not?
The results of the economy show that you have a better economy than you had 5 years ago. Household income has increased, unemployment is down. And so people were better off than they were 5 years ago. So by all of those measures, PLP should have been reelected.
But did you, in your constituency, did they give you the impression that they were better off? Did you feel within yourself that the people of Fox Hill, for instance, were better off?
Absolutely, absolutely. It showed. And the mortgages, 200 new homes were built in the Fox Hill constituency between 2002 and 2007. That subdivision, Smithville, Cannon Pew, Freddie Munnings Manor, did not exist. All of that was what do you call it? Coppice, hardwoods between St. Augustine's College. You used to ramble around in that, when you were a kid. Between St. Augustine's College and the Fox Hill Village. All of that was bush in 2002. By 2007, 200 new homes were built there. And that brought in people who were upwardly mobile, aggressive, who came in from areas like Farm Road, Baintown, Montel Heights, Angliston, who moved up into Fox Hill.
But there were many young people who were still complaining about jobs.
I agree with that. Now, what was happening with, as I told you, what was happening was the unemployment, though way down, had become structural in the sense that, if you talk like an economist, in the sense that you'd reached a point below which you couldn't go because the skills weren't matching up with those that were demanded in the society. So the government had to take some special measures to make sure that the skills matched up. And I think that's the problem we found ourselves. Because, for example, my colleague, Melanie Griffin, great job in social services. And one day she said, look, you know, there are some jobs which we need to fill in the Ministry of Social Services. But these jobs require 5 BJCs. I must have had 4 or 5 pages of people who were looking for jobs in the public sector. And in those 5 pages, not one with 5 BJCs. And I spoke, you know, some people were, you know, close to me, had worked in my campaign, needed the work. And when I spoke in one situation, the difficulty was that when it was time, not that they didn't have the ability, but when it was time to take the BJCs, there was a choice between her brother and herself, and the family didn't have the resources, so the brother was chosen over her. Even in situations—
You were talking about BJCs or BGCSEs?
I am talking about BJCs. I'm saying this is an 8th grade exam. It's an 8th grade exam. And I'm saying what I learned through all of these processes is, for example, there is a system where the Ministry of Education will assist, and at the time that this individual took the exam or could have taken the exam, would assist for those people who can't pay. There is no situation in this country where someone who can't afford to take BJCs or BGCs should be saying that they couldn't get the money, because there are systems in place for people who can't afford to pay. Now, what you need, though, is the knowledge that that exists. And we can ask ourselves now, in retrospect, while we're blue in the face, why our information systems aren't better, for example. For example, another example, constituents would come to me and ask about assistance for health care. Not many people know that the Ministry of Health is able to give you a grant up to $5,000 to assist with your health care. There's a means test. There's an office right in the hospital compound. You go into the compound, the means test. If you meet the means test, the government can give you the grant. Few people know it. Few people take advantage of it. But the fact is, those funds are there. Social services. Your house burns down and you need a place to live. Social services has the power, the money, to put you in a home on a temporary basis, provide you with food, provide you with clothing. That's what the taxes of the people are supposed to be mobilized to be used for. Not for members of parliament to have to necessarily go into their pockets to assist. That is what we were trying to do, to be able to mobilize the public resources so that those who could least afford it could get the assistance that they needed.
Mr. Mitchell, it is either that the PLP and the candidates of the PLP, that they were deluding themselves and believing that they were doing a very good job, or the Bahamian electorate is a very ungrateful electorate. And let me say what I mean. In 2002, the elections ended with the Free National Movement winning 1 seat in New Providence, just 1. In 2007,